about the Egyptians so I can show you what you made of, because you don't know who you are. But I'm going to show you who you are today and the potential that you got in you. The Egyptians were some of the smartest people ever. Many of the things we got today, go back and do your study on the internet. It goes all the way back to Egypt. So I went down the line and I checked out some different things. The writing that we have, the art of writing, started with the Egyptians. The alphabet system began with the Egyptians. Pen and paper. They would use ink out of a plant to get their ink, and then they would. The tree was called the papyrus tree, which is the root word for paper. And they would get that, and they would do their writings. It started what we call hieroglyphics. It started in Egypt. And then it also says literature came out of Egypt. They put literature together on astrology and how to weave their products and cooking and all of that. Astronomy, they knew how to predict the eclipse. They could predict floods that were coming. The calendar year of 365 days we have right now with 12 months and 30 days or 31 days a month started with the Egyptians. Julius Caesar took it and adopted it. You go on down, mathematics and geometry. They needed that in order to build the pyramid, which was called one of the 7 wonders of the world. It came out of Egypt. Dead bodies, they knew how to preserve dead bodies. So what we do today in embalming, they were the first to use chemicals to put in the bodies to allow the bodies or the mummies of their pharaohs to be preserved as long as possible. This started back in Egypt. Arts and architecture. Y'all, you talking about giant structures of temples and giant statues and the pyramids. The Egyptians built that without the help of nobody. The first shoes came from the Egyptians. They were made out of straws. The postal system that we have today, where a mail carrier carries mail from one place to another. In Egypt, they would get horse and buggy, and when messages needed to flow from one neighbor to another, those horse and buggies would carry the messages. It started in Egypt. So I want to show you the potential of it. See, this is hard for y'all to grasp because we haven't been told that was us back there. So it's difficult for us to grasp this. Black folk having this kind of mind? Yes. They didn't want you to know. They didn't want to tell you. The agriculture system, the irrigation system started in Egypt. Trade and commerce using a fleet of ships, navy started in Egypt. All of these things started in Egypt. You are some smart people. You are some wise people. You are some intelligent people, and you don't know it. But what happened to us, Pastor? Why is it, when you see, Pastor, when I see all this going on, what happened to us? Slavery damaged the psyche of the black man. Because they had to control us. They had to take our self-worth and our value away. So they had to control how we thought. They had to put us in control. They had to take our worth, our confidence. They put us down. That they had to do that in order to preserve their slavery system. And so now we got people that feel ignorant, that feel like they have no self-worth. They have no value, no self-esteem, don't have no confidence. So you don't think that you can. It's impossible. So slavery had to come and take your potential away. Let me show you who you are today. Let me show you the potential of your mind, because this stuff you use every day, you didn't think that it was a black person that made it. Let me just go down the line, and this is just some of them. It's not everything. You're going to be shocked the stuff you use every day that came from black folk, that black folk thought of, had the intellect to think it up. Please put it on the screen. I'm trying to give you time. Put it up there right away. Watch this. Do you know the ironing board that you iron on was made by a black woman? Did you know that the stand-up dustpan was made by a black man? Did you know when men go, and all these millions of dollars they make it in golfing, it was a black man that made the tee for the golf ball to sit on. And he got no money much from it at all. Do you know that the automatic elevator doors was made by a black man? Do you know that the traffic signal you stop at every day was made by a black man? Next time the light said green, think black. A brother made. The gas mask was made by the same man. His name was Garrett Morgan. The potato chips you eat at parties was designed by a black man. The first home security system was made by a sister. The gas heating furnace was made by a black woman. The peanut butter came from a black man. The automatic gear shift, when you change your gears in your car, was made by a black man. Oh, I'm in the house today. The control unit that they put in your pacemaker was made by a black man. Oh my God, the ice cream scooper, when you eating ice cream, it was made by a black man. The fire escape ladder on the sides of the buildings was made by a black man. The refrigerated transportation system was made by a black man. The blood bank was started by a black man. The little filament copper light in the bulb was made by a black man. The self-ringing mop was made by a black man. The telephone answering service was made by a black man. The color PC monitor to the computer was made by a black man. The frame of the bicycle was made by a black man. The fold-away bed was made by a black woman. The caps and the bottle jars that you put on your jar was made by a black man. The sprinkler system was made by a black man. The tissue holder that holds your toilet paper was made by a black woman. And that cell phone you use every day, he didn't get the credit for the phone, but he gave what was needed to start the phone. It was started by a black man. So when you say hello every day, it began with a brother. You don't know who you are. I mean, oh my God, you don't know who you are. You got super intelligence. You got keen intelligence because you come from a wise and intelligent group of people. But the devil didn't want you to know it because he didn't want you to get that book out of you that's been laying around in your spirit. Get that business out of you. Get that dream. Get that music out of you. Get that business out of you. Get that $1 million business out of you. Some of y'all got inventions and ideas right now, but it's a little voice that come and creep and tell you you don't have the ability to do it because you didn't know who you were. With God, all things are possible. I can do all things through Christ that strength. Rise up, black people. Sit on the throne that God gave you. He's more than the world is against you. Jesus said, in the last days, the first shall become last, and the last